Hello and welcome to Cuisine with Pauline. I'm Mary.
And I'm Marysia.
And we are in Marysia's beautiful kitchen here in Warsaw. And if you cannot tell, we are celebrating Hanukkah. It is Hanukkah, and that means we are going to be making latke. And why latke?
Because basically we want to make everything dipped in oil. And latke is a classic dish.
It is so classic, so traditional, and everybody makes it usually for Hanukkah, and we are making it for Hanukkah. And we hope that you will enjoy this recipe and you will be cooking along with us. So let's not waste any time. Let's get cooking.
Well, first of all, let's take care of potatoes and onions. Peel them and grate them all and mix them up.
Okay, and I know, because you told me, that there is a special hint using a grater like this. Now, if you want to make...
Yes, because it's actually placki ziemniaczane, the Polish version of latkes, is really popular here. But the major difference is the size of the holes on the grater. If you use the small ones and make kind of a mush, then that's classic Polish placki ziemniaczane. But for latkes, you want them to be a little more crispy, so you will use the big ones. And that's what we're gonna do.
So, listen, this is a process right here, doing 5 to 6 of these and then draining all this, you know, the starchy, potatoey water.
It can take some time.
So, I mean, you can do this by yourself or invite some people into the kitchen with you, like an assistant, and they can start chopping up the onions. And this is how I do it. I just kind of cut the tops off. That just makes it easier. We will be adding them here in just a moment to this mix with flour and onions.
Okay, so now when we grated the potatoes, we just have to drain the excess water so they don't become soggy afterwards. And the really quickest and the simplest way to do that is to put them on a cloth, like a basic cloth you have in your house. Cover it like this. Get it over a bowl or in your sink, whichever is closer, and just, you know, drain it like that. Okay, and look how much. Okay, I think we're done, and we can put it back in our container.
And what do we do with the excess water? Just toss it?
Just toss it.
Just toss it.
The next step is to put the onions and the potatoes together.
Okay, here, how about this? I will hold it and you want to do it? There you go.
Just one smooth motion.
Hey, listen, sometimes two heads are better than one.
So, the pinch of salt and the pinch of pepper is already there. We have potatoes, we have onions. So now the two last things we need to do before frying them is to add 3 eggs and flour. And the thing is, you need to feel them out for yourself. Because the mixture needs to stay together well. If it doesn't, it will all fall apart on the frying pan. So just add 3 eggs and add flour gradually until the mixture is all gluey, I think.
Yeah, that's the consistency that you're wanting. So because we want it, like you said, to stick together. So without further ado, let's do some eggs and flour.
Okay, and now it's done.
And it's time for the most important part, is the frying in the oil part. So we're going to go and do that right now.
So now we're waiting for the oil to be all nice and hot, and when it's done, then we will put our mixture on the frying pan.
And it just cooks really quickly, like a few minutes. It just depends on your, depends on your cooker, but also be careful not to put the heat like too hot, okay? Because you don't want to like scorch your latkes. And
they will be scorched on the outside and raw on the inside.
Yeah, it's not very tasty. And of course you got your little towelette and to soak up all the excess oil, because you're gonna try to be healthy and eat latke. How in the world do you even accomplish that during Hanukkah? Okay, listen, everything you're eating is in oil, but you should at least attempt to do that. So are we ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
So I think the first batch is done.
Yes.
We will put them here on the paper to get rid of the excess oil, just to pretend we're fit on Hanukkah.
It's the thought that counts.
Yes. And now, let's eat.
Okay. Now, this could be kind of a controversy for some of you out there. Which camp do you belong in? Are you in the applesauce on top of your latke group? Are you in the don't put anything on top of my latke, I like it the way it is? Or are you in the group probably from Poland?
Yeah.
I would suggest, because I never saw this until I moved to Poland, which was put sour cream with sugar on top of your latke. We're not here to make arguments. We're just here to express that you can do latke any way you want. And actually, if you look up how to do latke online, you're going to get some really cool varieties where people are just putting all kinds of different ingredients and making it any kind of way they can possibly imagine. So before we end and start eating these latkes, what camp are you in?
I'm all for sour cream.
You put some sugar on top?
Sometimes, but actually the best way to eat them is sour.
Okay.
Savory.
All right, show us how it's done.
Okay.
So this is how we do it Polish style. Mm-hmm. And we actually call sour cream śmietana.
Kwaśna śmietana.
Kwaśna śmietana. And she's going to do it without sugar.
Okay. Hear the crisp?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
And pyszna, delicious?
Absolutely delicious.
How nice. Okay, I can't take it anymore. I have to have my own latke. Could you please pass me a latke? And I'm going to do this American style, and it's going to be with some applesauce. But I have to tell you that I have really gotten addicted to doing it with sour cream and sugar. And you don't like use sugar like this. You do sugar like this if you're going to do it with the sour cream and the sugar. If you haven't tried it, try it. Don't knock it, try it. So let me try it officially. Marysia's, and I helped, latke. All right, well, that's all the time that we have for today. We hope that you enjoyed making latke with us, and we send Hanukkah wishes to those of you who are celebrating this season. And also, really quick before we say goodbye, we want to encourage you to check out the rest of our 8 flavors of Hanukkah that has been taking place this week, and also be looking forward to our new temporary exhibition that's coming up at POLIN Museum next year. It has all to do about food. Just follow Friends of POLIN for more information about that. Marysia, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
And for your beautiful kitchen. And we will see you next time.
Yeah. Happy Hanukkah.
Do widzenia.